Look, most gym owners think that they're stuck because they need more leads, and you don't. And I'm saying that as someone who's watched more gyms burn money on lead gen than they've spent on rent. Okay, look, it's it's not. Look, your real bottleneck has nothing to do with ads, agencies, algorithms, or your broke demographic. The reason every marketing attempt that you've tried that has now failed, whether it was Facebook, Instagram, Google, TikTok, your cousin's funnel, or the agency some guy at Good Life recommended, it's simple. It's simple. Your backend is completely broken. And when your backend is broken, more leads don't just grow your gym. They expose the cracks faster. So your low show rate becomes lower, your weak closes become weaker, your retention doesn't exist, and you're basically pouring water into a bucket you forgot to build. And no, you can't hack your way out of this with a couple of texts, a new script, or a free week offer. If the structure underneath is trash, everything you stack on top collapses. So the real question is, if leads aren't the problem, what is? Because once you see what's actually breaking your growth, right, you're never going to blame leads again. You'll never run your gym the same way again. So let me show you the actual system, what this looks like. Let me show you the truth. This is the same structure that we install inside gyms that fixes everything without adding a single new lead. So let's get into it. Now, really quick, before I break this wide open, if you've been lied to by leads or agencies or markup marketing gurus, hit like on this video so it reaches more gym owners who are stuck exactly where you are in this position. Okay, so let's start with the lie that every gym owner believes, that we just need more leads, right? No, okay, come on, you don't. Okay, if more leads were the answer, your gym wouldn't be stuck right now. I've been in enough gyms, helped enough of them, enough pipelines, and enough sales calls to tell you this bluntly. Most gyms don't have a lead problem. They have a back-end problem disguised as a lead problem, okay? So here's how every gym owner thinks growth works. Your lead comes in, they book a consult, they buy, they stay forever, they refer unlimited people. It's a cute fantasy, but it's not reality, all right? So you know what actually happens, right? Your lead opts in, 70% goes, 20% maybe show, 10% buy, 90% churn by week 8, and your bank account looks like, well, in the negative or in the red or a bank account. And after all that, right, you blame the leads? Right, come on. So, like, the leads woke up one day and said, you know what would be hilarious? Let's just all ghost this guy. Come on. No, they ghost because the backend gives them zero reason not to. So, if the leads were actually the problem, then the last time you spent $1,500 on ad, you would have gotten an ROI, right? But you didn't, because leads aren't the constraint, your backend is. So let's break this down into actual numbers, not feelings, because I don't really like emotions. So a good backend would convert 30 to 40% of leads into consults easily. Weak backend converts 5 to 12%. Good, 60 to 70% closes. Bad, maybe 25% if we're lucky. Retaining 80% after week 12, and a bad would retain like 20 to 40%. And now you're telling me that the leads are the problem, right? Come on. So let me be painfully clear about something that most gym owners never understand. Volume only helps if your system can handle the volume. Otherwise, it just exposes how bad your backend really is. So if I give you 100 leads tomorrow, your show rate wouldn't fix itself. Your close rate wouldn't magically improve. Your retention wouldn't suddenly become a Disney movie ending, right? More leads into a broken backend system where growth isn't, more leads into a backend system isn't growth. It's controlled burning. Fuck. More leads into a broken backend isn't growth. It's controlled burning. Gyms that have strong backends grow even with average leads because it just happens that way. Gyms with weak backend fail even with, let me redo that. Gyms with really strong backends grow even with average leads. Gyms with weak backends fail even with great leads. You don't rise to the level of your lead flow. You fall to the level of your backend. Okay, so now we'll do that one more time. Gyms with strong backends grow even with average leads. Gyms with weak backends fail even with great leads. You don't rise to the level of your lead flow. You fall to the level of your backend. So here's the truth test. Pull up your last 90 days and answer these 4 questions. How many leads ghosted you if it's over 50%, your nurturing is non-existent? How many actually showed up if it's under 30%, your follow-up is really bad? How many actually bought? So if it's under 40%, your pricing ladder and sales process are broken. And how many members stayed past 60 days? If it's under 60%, your onboarding and retention are crap. And if you don't know any of this, that's really bad. So this is not that, like, this is your real problem, not the algorithm, right? So if your backend was genuinely good, the exact same leads you blame right now would have actually turned into clients. You don't have a lead problem. You have a leak problem. And leaks don't fix themselves because you run more ads. Leads are the solution. Leads are not the solution. They are an amplifier. They magnify whatever already exists. So if your backend is dialed in, leads turn into revenue. If your backend is chaos, leads turn into chaos much faster. Okay. So here's where gyms stay stuck. You're solving the wrong problem. You're stressed about lead flow, but your real constraint is the fact that your backend has a structured integrity of a Jenga tower on pre-workout. You know how many gyms I've seen crush a week of leads and then nothing? All of them. Every single one. Because you cannot outmarket a broken backend. You can only expose it. So let's retire the we need more leads fantasy, because that's not a strategy. That's a coping mechanism. And trust me, the moment you stop worshiping and praying to the gods and the leads and start looking at your back end, everything finally starts to make sense. So if this already sounds uncomfortably accurate, like really, really like awesome. Okay, that's great. Okay, you're finally paying attention to the part of your business that actually needs to move the needle. So tap like if you're starting to see and realize that this video is the solution and the algorithm should have seen you and shown you this months ago. So now let's talk about the real killers. Okay, the 3 choke points that strangle every single gym every single day: your pricing ladder, your nurturing engine, and your follow-up. So these are the 3 that kill like every single one. All right, so now that we've killed the lead problem fantasy, let's talk about what's actually choking your gym to death. There are 3 backend killers that quietly drain every dollar of your growth that like you think leads will fix, which is pricing, nurture, and follow-up. These 3 alone will determine your show rate, your close rate, retention, referrals, literally everything that matters inside of your business, whether you realize it or not. And the part that nobody wants to hear is you're not struggling because your city is broke. You're struggling because your back end is not sufficient. It's awful. It's terrible. I don't know how much more transparent and straightforward I need to tell you this. So the first thing is the pricing ladder. Okay, so most gyms have a pricing ladder that looks like a toddler made it during snack time. Random price points, a third option nobody buys, no logic, no tiers, no ascension, no psychology. You either have cheap group or expensive one-on-one, and that's not a ladder. That is 2 cliffs. So when your pricing has cliffs, 80% of people fall off, not because they don't want help, but not because they're broke, but because you gave them no other path. Gym buyers fall into 4 categories: low budget, medium, committed but busy, serious, high ticket. And if you can't catch all 4, you lose all 4. Okay, so a proper pricing ladder removes all resistance. A broken ladder creates objections, and you blame the customer, the lead, and when it was your offer designed the entire time. So open your offer sheet. Do you have a staircase or 2 cliffs? Do you have group, semi-private, hybrid, one-on-one, or do you have a hope and a handshake? If you're closing under 40%, this is why. Okay, now we're going to talk about nurturing engine, because this is everything that happens before the consult, sometimes after, but mostly before, which is for most gyms, 1 text, like a thumbs up and a prayer, right? Or you have the stupid automation. You're not you think you're nurturing people, but you're not. You're sending a digital sticky note. So people buy when they are emotional, logical, and identity parts of their brain are aligned. They do not buy when they are cold, rushed, stressed, or comparing you to Planet Fitness that they saw 5 minutes ago. A proper nurturing engine warms the brain. Bad nurture makes you forgettable. Show rate doesn't improve because you book the consult. Show rate improves because you warn them before the consult. Okay, so I want you to go to your CRM right now. What happens after someone fills out your form? Oh, you don't know what a CRM is? That's an issue, right? But do they receive a pre-framed content? Let me redo that. So do they receive a pre-framed content, proof assets, testimonials, a quick win, any reason to trust you, or do they get pretty much nothing? And come on, let's go. That's why they ghost you. It's not your leads. Okay. So now that brings us to follow, which is the most disrespected part of every gym's business. Most of you follow up like this lead, this prospect, they owe you. You send 2 messages, and if they don't reply, you declare them dead like a Victorian doctor. Okay. Then no bueno. All right. Leads don't convert because you just reached out. Leads convert because you continue to reach out long enough for timing and trust to line up. The average person is busy, distracted, overwhelmed, and not rejecting you. But if you don't follow up, sometimes up to 14 times systematically, they disappear. Okay, and here's the kicker. Your follow-up determines your show rate, your close rate, and your close rate determines your retention. So it's all connected, okay? Now, take the last 50 leads in your pipeline. Count how many times you followed up. If it's under 5, your pipeline discipline is non-existent. So you don't need a better CRM template. You need better routines and accountability. These 3 choke points, the pricing, nurture, follow-up, are the majority of why your gym is stuck. Not leads, not your city, not because the economy's bad. And once you understand that, you're finally ready to see what an actual backend system looks like. So tap like if this is already hitting harder than any marketing advice that you've heard all year or last quarter. Okay, because in section 3, I'm going to show you exactly how the entire backend fits together and why that gyms with this system never have to worry about lead gen again. So let's start with the lie that every gym owner believes, that we just need more leads. No, you don't. Oh wait, that's the wrong fucking thing. All right, so you have now survived pricing, nurture, and following, right? So let's zoom out and take a look at the actual machine, the thing that every successful gym runs on and almost every struggling gym lacks, which is a backend system. This is the part that quietly determines your show rate, your close rate, retention, referrals, renewals, basically whether your gym grows or flatlines or ends, right? And a backend is not a buzzword, okay? It's not a funnel. It's not some random automation. It's the operating system of your business, or really any business. And a gym without one is just a room full of nice equipment and vibes. A gym with a backend is a predictable revenue engine. So a backend system means you control everything from lead, warm, set, show, close, onboard, retain, renew, ascension, instead of hoping the stars just align. It's a structured sequence, not a collection of random tasks. Your gyms don't grow because they're passionate. Gyms grow because they're predictable. And predictability comes from systemized paths, not emotional effort. Your backend controls everything that produces cash, like everything. Show rate, close rate, ticket size, LTV, referrals, reactions, all this stuff. Profit consistency. So if one piece breaks, everything downstream then collapses. A solid backend lets trainers, admin, and setters operate at a higher level because they're not following a blueprint. Or they are following a blueprint. They're not just winging it and going off the top ahead, right? So if you want a better retention, referral, social proof, cool. Your backend determines all of that too. So this is the part that gym owners underestimate. The backend isn't one thing. It's an ecosystem, right? So there's typically, it depends on the business, but 7 backend pieces. So you have the pricing ladder. That's the spine of your revenue. The nurturing engine that warms people before the consult and sometimes after. The pipeline control system, so your CRM, your automations, your follow-ups, your tags, your workflows, right? All that stuff. The sales flow, so identity framing, price anchoring, micro commitments, softeners, the permission close, all that stuff. Retention engine. So this is a 90-day structured client path, which I'll make a video about eventually. The proof engine, which is case studies, wins, DMs, before and afters, testimonials, and then ops. So the fun stuff, the daily, weekly, monthly loops, for team check-ins, KPIs, client saves, reactivations, and performance. And here's the truth, okay? You don't have a marketing problem. You have a missing operating system. You're not running a gym. You're running a series of disconnected tasks that accidentally looks like a business. I'm sorry, okay? But once you see the back end laid out like this, you start to then realize this is why your leads don't convert. This is why your revenue is stuck. And this is why your growth is significantly inconsistent. And so now that you understand the ecosystem, let me show you what parts of this is actually missing and what it looks like when the back end is built the right way. And because once you see it, you'll understand exactly why your gym is stuck. Okay, so you understand the ecosystem. Let me show you the pieces just like visually, because this is where 90%, probably 99% of gyms get exposed. And don't worry, I'm not giving away templates, okay, because that's complicated. I'm just going to show you the architecture. So your brain finally goes, oh, that's why leads don't work. Okay, so 4 steps, not 2 clips. All right, we're not the Price is Right. We're not the cliffhanger, dude. We're not trying to fall off. Okay, so the first thing is the pricing ladder. Let's start with this because this one kills gyms instantly. All right, imagine a simple staircase, group, semi-private, hybrid, 101. 4 steps, not 2, not the 2 cliffs. Okay, gyms with no ladder force, everyone gets into the same price, which guarantees 2 outcomes: low close rate, high objections, not because people can't afford you, but because you gave them no on-ramp, okay? Nobody buys an $800 service as their first touch point, but they absolutely will start with something 200, 300, 400, 500 and ascend once they feel safe, supported, and they're getting results. Okay, so ask yourself right now, do you have a staircase or am I pushing people off of the cliff? Because if your close rate is below 40%, then you kind of know the answer, right? Now, nurture, retention engine. So this is a 90-day roadmap. Week 1, experience. Week 4, progress. Week 8, proof week. Week 12, renewal. Week 16, ascension. Most gyms don't have a retention problem. They have a we wing everything and after the sale problem. So retention is not vibes and hope and motivation. Retention is milestones, check-ins, goal review points, progress screenshots, proof capture, renewal framing, identity reinforcement. So ask yourself, what happens after the client joins, right? If the answer is, they just start the program, congrats, your retention is just kind of luck and hoping, right? Okay, so if you have got to this point, you're watching this, you're thinking, oh my God, this is exactly what we're missing. I built a free 7-minute backend assessment to show you exactly where your gym or business is leaking revenue. It's going to tell you your number one bottleneck. So your pricing, nurture, follow-up, or retention, how much revenue you're losing every month because of it. So link will be in the description if I remember. If not, drop me a comment. Now, just to put a bow on this, look, ultimately you don't have a lead problem. You have a backend problem. And the moment you fix that, your show rate's going to climb, your closes will significantly improve, and your revenue every single month will stabilize. And your gym finally grows like it was supposed to. So if you found this helpful, hit like so YouTube pushes it to more people like you who are stuck exactly where you were 15, 20 minutes ago. And subscribe because I'm going to be dropping more videos like this. Try to do it every single week, but I'm busy. But every single one of them is going to be designed to help fix your gym and your business that leads won't or can't. So yeah, if you want clarity on your backend, go take the free assessment. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And if you like this video, YouTube is probably going to put another one and suggest for you to watch the next one that's on my face. So I'll see you in there.